Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the RockyMounts AfterParty Swing Away Bike Rack here on our 2019 Ram 1500 Classic. If you need to carry around some bikes but you don't want to put them into your truck bed, you want something that works better in terms of you can carry stuff in the truck bed as well as your bikes, and you can lower your tailgate and keep everything on there, this is going to be a good option for you. It is a premium bike rack at a premium price though, so let's take a look at some features with our truck that might have you interested or not interested in getting this for your adventures. This rack tilts away as well as swings away. So we're going to pull this lever here and let the rack drop down to a tilt, just like that. Now, as deep as that tilt is, unfortunately, it's not deep enough for full clearance. So we can mostly lower the tailgate, but you can see how it rests on the rack instead of fully lowering. In that case, I would not recommend getting into your truck bed and putting weight on that, and rather, if you need full access into your truck bed, just go ahead and swing the whole rack out. To bring it back into position, lift on the rack, and you can see that handle snaps into place. We're gonna go straight into the swing away knob here. So this turns to loosens, and it's a long thread, so keep turning until it's fully disengaged. Once that handle is loose, you then lift up on this knob, and then your bike rack disengages from the mast. So now we can pivot the rack around, and there's a lot of pivot points. So the platform itself can pivot as well as the swing away arm. So the arm can actually go out 180 degrees all the way over there. So we'll do that so that our bike sits to the side of the truck. Now we have full access into the truck bed. We can lower our tailgate, hang out here, grab our stuff, load things up into the truck without having to worry about taking the bikes off. To bring the rack back in, we're gonna lift up on these levers, and that way we can swing the entire rack around. I recommend coming at it at the bike side, and notice how our platform doesn't pivot as much either. That's because you also have to pull this other knob. So it's a little bit of, it's a little tricky, but that's because you need to make sure that your bike doesn't hit your truck, and in this way everything is secure. Now you're going to tighten it down with the knob you loosened earlier. What types of bikes can you carry with this rack? Well, you do have a weight capacity of up to 60 pounds per bike, so for your heavy electric bikes, awesome. The downside though is it is going to be pretty high up off the ground. We have our bike here, and notice that there is zero frame contact. So this is a dual wheel mount bike. So when you want to take your bike off, you actually start over by the levers. For the first lever, I push in just to disengage the mount and give ourselves some wiggle room. After that, I can flip the lever up. Get both of those levers up, and then you can push the mounts to the side. And if it helps out, you can put it all the way down like this. And that way, you can just bring your bike down and you're ready to hit the trails. What's impressive about this is the wheelbase. You have a 55-inch wheelbase for those extra long bikes. Notice with the lever down, it will start ratcheting. That's how it secures the bike. We are going to push these mounts all the way down to be a lot more portable and neat. So this is going to add some length to the back of your truck. I like to measure from our bumper to the end of the bike rack, and it measures at 32 inches. You already have a longer truck, so if you have a really small garage, you know that space is at a premium. Another thing to measure for is ground clearance. I'm not as concerned about this bottoming up or bottoming out, but I am kind of concerned about how I have to lift my heavy electric bikes. So from the ground to the tray where the bikes will sit, that's 33¼ inches off the ground, which is a good amount of height. Notice as well how this is a stadium style tray to give you some extra clearance for both of those bikes. If you're not planning on going out for a bike ride just yet, or maybe you need a little bit more space inside of your garage, you can fold this rack up. So remember the lever we pulled earlier? We'll pull that again. This time it pops up against the vehicle. Notice where our backup camera is. Since this bike rack sits below it, you'll still have some visibility through that backup camera. And for your license plate, that is definitely going to be covered, but that's going to be the case kind of no matter what bike rack you have. So this has a 2-inch shank which fits into your 2-inch hitch receiver. You do have a lock at the end of the anti-rattle bolt, and that lock is key to the lock for your chain lock. So make sure to tighten that down properly so it's fully secured in your hitch. You are going to need a 3/4 inch wrench. The kit has one included. I recommend using your own socket wrench. Now this is going to take up much less space compared to when it was folded down. Measuring from the bumper again to the end of the rack, it's now at 18 inches of length added to the back of your truck. This is also a great way to store it on its own in your garage.
Here we are on our test course. As we hit the alternating bumps, you can see what it would be like to hit a pothole on the road. Our solid speed bumps simulate pulling in and out of a driveway or hitting a speed bump in a parking lot. We use the slalom portion of our course to simulate the side-to-side movement, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvers.
This was a look at the RockyMounts AfterParty 2-bike Swing Away rack and how it looks on the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic.